I'm Professor John Moriarty from Queen Mary University of London.
And my name is Almut Veraart. I'm a reader in statistics at Imperial College London.
Our programme is called the Mathematics of Energy Systems, but as you can see, it very much involves maths, engineering and economics as well. We're thinking about energy systems, so you could think of electrical power systems as an example, particularly on two timescales, so the short-term operational timescale and the longer-term investment timescale. And we're focusing particularly on the role of stochasticity or uncertainty in these questions.
So there have been dramatic changes in the energy systems, mainly due to the renewable generation of energy, and this comes with lots of challenges, in particular because renewable generation generates a lot of fluctuation in the system, so it might not be as reliable as conventional sources of energy, and the question is how renewable sources of energy can be really incorporated in the system. Also, there's the trend towards moving towards smart and flexible energy systems, and that comes with its own problems. So how can we incorporate smart technology? Also, how can we incorporate data-driven technology into the energy system? So this is something we would like to address, and this really relies on a combination of different disciplines like mathematics, engineering and economics, and we feel that this is a very, very timely and exciting area because it's really essentially a paradigm shift in how energy systems are run nowadays. Yeah.
So one quite active research area at the moment is the question of how we could have a 100% renewable energy system. And we're not nearly at 100% yet, but we are already at challenging levels of renewable generation. So for example, such a system would require much greater levels of energy storage to make it work properly. And there are these and other very interesting operational engineering questions for 100% renewables. And of course, if we want to get to such a system, then we have to incentivise the appropriate investment in the capital infrastructure. So those are examples of very interesting economic questions that come into play. One of the most exciting things about researching in energy systems is how rapidly they're changing. And so the environment in which we're working is changing, for example, politically and technologically. So even between today and when our programme happens in 2019, I expect the agenda will evolve. So let me just give three examples of challenges that I believe we'll be working on. Power systems rely on various markets which couple economics and the physics of the system. So that's a very interesting area where maths, economics and engineering meet, and where significant innovation is going to be needed to take us through the desired energy transition. Another challenge is essentially to do with the high dimension of power systems. So power systems are very complex, possibly the most complex engineered systems that man has ever created. And so their analysis is challenging, and particularly challenging when we start to add in consideration of uncertainty. Another way in which energy systems are changing is the increasing number of agents in the system. So another question will be modelling the interactions of these various agents, including the operators of various parts of the system, end consumers, and devices of various sorts, for example, storage devices.
In addition to the challenges which John just mentioned, there are obviously all the challenges coming from a more data science perspective. When we think of developing new models for energy systems and energy markets, we would really like to feed in the big data which is available in that context. And for that, we are thinking of developing new statistical models which can be used for really describing the energy systems and markets, but also we would like to look into new methods coming more from data science science, machine learning, to focus on forecasting and prediction in that context. And one challenge will really be to combine these models coming more from a physical side with the kind of the black box type models we find in data science, and because so far these models have typically been studied separately, and one of the challenges we would like to address is also to combine these two types of models under the aspect of how can we quantify uncertainty in energy systems. So let me first talk about the academic impact of our program. So we believe that our program is pretty unique in the sense that it brings three disciplines together: mathematics, engineering, and economics. And we will try to have participants from all three fields, and we will also have a mix of people from academia and industry, so that we can really focus on the various theoretical and applied aspects of the challenges we already discussed. In terms of more concrete academic impact, we would like to develop obviously a new methodology with a focus on uncertainty in energy systems, and in particular we hope to develop new algorithms and obviously publish research papers which describe these new methods, so that these new findings can really be applied and used by the community.
I think there are two main ways in which our programme can have impact outside academia, and that's in terms of working with policymakers and working with companies in the energy industry. So, for example, some of our participants have advised in the past on the design of energy markets, and such opportunities I'm sure will continue. And some of our participants have advised, for example, system operators on what's called the capacity margin, so whether we have enough generation currently or not. We also have participants who are being released directly from their companies, so coming not from academia but coming from industry to spend time with us in the programme, so offering again a very direct route to impact.